Did you know that 28 Days Later was inspired by a book about killer plants? I'm Chelsea, one half of Screen Rant. Get ready with me for a dinner in Bangkok and I'll explain to you how one of the greatest zombie films ever made was inspired by a book called Day of the Triffids. Don't forget to hit like and follow. So we all know that when 28 Days Later was released, it was largely credited with totally revamping the zombie subgenre. Now we can sit here all day and argue whether it is actually a zombie film because no, they aren't undead, they are infected, but still, let's not split hairs. Danny Boyle's masterpiece does share quite a lot of similarities with a book published by John Wyndham in 1951 called Day of the Triffids. Thematically, both these stories share a lot of the same space. Both follow survivors in a post-apocalyptic situation in Britain. Both include themes about the breakdown of society and the moral compass. But so what? I mean, a lot of zombie and disaster films also follow these same themes. When we examine the opening of Day in the Triffids, this is where the comparison gets really interesting. The Day of the Triffid opens with the lead male protagonist waking up in a hospital room on his own in a seemingly deserted London. Now, why does this sound familiar? Well, it's probably because that's exactly how 28 Days Later starts. That iconic opening then went on to inspire some of the opening scenes in The Walking Dead, and that isn't where the similarities end. So there's a bunch of military types who act as some of the core antagonists. There's also a group of people who have some very questionable views about gender roles. And in Day of the Triffids, the lead male and female also take responsibility for a young girl who's lost all of her family. Although in 28 Days Later and Day of the Triffids, the main disaster is caused by science gone wrong, the situation in 28 Days Later is caused by rage-infected monkeys. The drama in Day of the Triffids is caused by this meteor shower which turns everybody who sees it blind. Not really the big bad of the story. The real threat in Day of the Triffids are these walking, genetically modified, carnivorous plants called triffids. As we've lost the upper hand in terms of eyesight, the triffids are then able to start picking people off one by one and eating them. And look, I know this sounds absolutely batshit, but stay with me. If you're somebody who really enjoys that kind of post-apocalyptic survival kind of vibes, then don't sleep on Day of the Triffids. It's probably going to be right up your street. Before anybody comes for me saying that I'm just making tenuous links and trying to make the pieces fit, Alex Garland himself, who actually wrote 28 Days Later, has cited Day of the Triffids as a major source of inspiration. And do you want to know something really interesting? At the end of Day of the Triffids, there's actually a survivor group who go to the Channel Islands to start a new community. Ringing any bells from the 28 Years Later trailer? So let us know in the comments, have you read Day of the Triffids and have you spotted the similarities with 28 Days Later before?